your anxious inner child will safely permanent. And it's about time to do so. I have the anxious inner child in me. This dog is a big thing for him. Why? Because public speaking can be a big scary thing for many, but especially for someone who is couldn't recite the poem in front of the class because it was the most overwhelming, stressful experience. You dance, you sweat, you stutter, you get nervous, and then you stutter even more. And then it becomes a vicious circle. A real obstacle. A physical obstacle. Muscle tension, shortness of breath, and ready to cry. But even more psychological obstacle. Fear to be judged, fear to look ugly or stupid. Eventually the teachers pitied me and they allowed me not to present in class. I'm going to be excused from you for all the time. And when I was applying to the School of Architecture, I was told that of course I can do that I will never be allowed to teach because of the stutter. So the stutter used to be a real obstacle for me. It used to be. My name is Kalbasko and I am a psychologist because now my job is actually to talk. And today I want to talk about overcoming obstacles, in particular psychological obstacles to climate change action. And how through changing the relationship to what seemed to be an obstacle, we can start the journey toward positive change. And the anxious inner child is a big part of this journey. So instead of pushing my inner child away, as we often do to the parts of ourselves that feel anxious, I will imagine she is standing right here next to me, and I will take her hand and I will say to her, "We've got this." So while preparing for the talk, I was thinking about where psychological obstacles come from. You see, in the core of everything what we do or do not do, consciously or unconsciously, lies the desire to experience positive emotions and to avoid the negative emotions. Yes, it is that simple. What we do is also tied to the fulfillment of basic human needs, to feel safe, to be loved, to belong. And here is an interesting thing. The desire to have all positive emotions and to push away the negative can become this inner obstacle, the hidden conflicting commitment that prevents us from realizing our best intentions. Let me give you an example. Imagine you genuinely want to build communication with your partner, but all you do is you avoid difficult conversation. The hidden commitment here is to avoid conflicts at any cost because you might be afraid to lose the real relationship. Another example is you want to eat healthier. Very simple and good goal, but again, all you do is you continue to indulge in unhealthy choices and behavior because of the unwillingness to give up the existing comfort. I think you get the idea. This theory is called immunity to change. It's where the subconscious belief or behavior undermines conscious action. Let me ask you a question. Take a moment or two and think about what are the obstacles you currently experience in your life. Maybe you had a genuine intention to change, but somehow your efforts fell short. And maybe it was your anxious inner child who was criticized for not being good enough or not being doing enough. Inner obstacles. This is why we don't succeed in implementing the change we need. Not because we are not good enough, not because we don't care, but because there is hidden commitment that we subconsciously work for. So what about the inner obstacles to climate change action? In the topic of climate change, their inner obstacle may come in the form of environmental apathy. According to David Attenborough, apathy is the greatest threat to our planet. It can be seen as a new form of climate denial that undermines our ability to take immediate bold action. But did you know what is the psychological role of apathy? It is actually a natural defense mechanism against anxiety. We humans are wired to disassociate from the experiences or information that are overwhelmingly difficult or disturbing. Many of us feel hijacked by climate anxiety, with its sense of gloom and of almost paralyzing helplessness. And then the solution our mind creates is to disconnect from this unpleasant experience, of course. The hidden commitment here to feel safe, to avoid pain. So from the very early on, we developed a defense mechanism in terms of apathy to feel safe. But the danger of apathy is that it might seem like a simple way to cope with difficult emotions, but it also creates dissociation. Not only from the difficult emotions, but from all emotions and experiences. And the thing is that we cannot switch off one emotion without switching off the rest. So by numbing the anxiety, we are also canceling empathy, sense of agency, compassion. It is through numbing we become apathetic. Not because we do not care, but because we don't know how to deal with our anxiety when we do care. And when we develop this subconscious habit to dissociate from uncomfortable emotion, we dissociate and disconnect from our planet too. Because there is nothing left, no signal, no message, no impulse that would identify a need to act. We need to redefine our relationship with anxiety. Anxiety is not always a bad thing. Anxiety can be a sign that you have awareness. It can be a sign that you care. And if we treat our emotions as signposts that have certain message, we then have a better chance to understand this message. And it is our anxious inner child who carries that message. There is a thread, hey, it's time to act. But in order to avoid acting from the place of panic, you need to learn how to comfort the anxious inner child. We need to learn how to become a loving and caring inner parent to the anxious inner child, so our calm and confident inner adult is ready for action. Now, when the child feels anxious, what do? We don't run away from the child, neither we yell at them. We try to normalize the very natural emotional experience of the child and comfort the child. There is a simple practice that can help to comfort the anxious inner child while developing emotional agility. It is called 3 A's. Acknowledge, allow, act with compassion. So imagine you have an anxious inner child right next to you. Lovingly look them in the eyes and say to them, hey, acknowledge, I know you feel anxious, and allow. It's okay to feel that way. Hey, act with compassion. I love you and I accept you just the way you are. Tell me what I can do to make you feel better. And when you learn how to comfort your inner child, when you learn how to comfort your inner child, you remove the inner obstacle. To overcome inner obstacle, we need to change the relationship to them. We need to engage differently with the difficult emotions we feel. Not to block our fears or anxieties, but to learn how to comfort the inner child who feels them. Because it is through comforting the inner child we remove their inner obstacle while simultaneously comfort and empower ourselves to actively care about shared home, our planet. And if I could overcome my obstacle and be here today, you can do it too. So next time, when you feel anxious about climate change, remember that it is your anxious inner child's ability to feel for the how the world has the ability to save a planet. Take your inner child by hand and say to them, we've got this. Thank you.